All right, hold there for a sec.
Holding.
Why are we leaking? Where are we leaking from? That's a great question. Measuring for the brake lines, we'll be going from the fitting coming through the inner fender right here and over to the fitting here on the brake caliper. Now we have a couple different brackets here from the factory brake lines. I plan on using one of these in order to be able to secure the brake line to help keep it from moving around a whole lot. Initially, I was looking at using this bracket right here as it was a straight shot down and over. However, after messing around with a spare line I had laying around, I realized that's not entirely going to work the way I was hoping. Now this is just a turbo oil feed line that I had laying around, but the fitting sizes are the same size that I'll be using, which is a -3. So once we feed it through the bracket there and connect it, one of the big things I'm noticing is, yeah, that'll be about right. Obviously the fitting would have to be turned around, and whenever I have brake lines made, I'll be having these clocked a different direction, but be about the right length. And but as we move the wheel through its range of motion, one of the biggest problems I'm seeing here, other than this line is not long enough for whenever we turn left, with a 90-degree fitting right here, it'll want to loosen this fitting over time. That'd be bad. That'd be a brake failure at that point, or a brake leak, which, as we all know, would be bad, especially if you want to come to the stop at the end of a run, or even just pulling up to a stoplight. So then started looking over here, this other bracket. Now the nice thing about this bracket, once it's secured there, this will hold it nice and steady and keep it from moving whenever we're turning left and right. So that's the bracket we're going to end up using there. So as we can see here, we'd need the fitting to rotate about 90 degrees in order to line up correctly there. So going straight, this brake line is definitely long enough, or this oil line is definitely long enough for measurement. If we turn to the left, we should still be long enough. And then whenever we turn to the right, though, we're not quite long enough. So we're going to go ahead and head over to the local hose supply house. It's not far away from here, so let's go ahead and cue up the overused royalty-free YouTube music. Here we go. We just got back from the local hose and rubber supply store there. Went ahead and had two 15.5-inch long brake lines made, 90-degree females on each end. clocked 90 degrees apart from each other there. So it is brake quip hose, and pretty happy with the way they turned out. So a little more pricey than I would like, about $80, but oh well. It's the cost of doing things when you're doing custom stuff. So we'll go ahead and get these installed on the car, and we'll be one step closer to finishing up these brakes. Alright, so we're back out here in the garage now after getting back from the parts store. Got our line here for the right side, as well as I picked up some new copper sealing washers here, so that way we can seal up our new caliper adapter here for the brake line. So you'll definitely want to make sure that right here where this mounts, you want to go ahead and make sure it's really clean. So give those copper washers something to really be able to seal up against here. So just take some brake cleaner, go ahead and clean off the area right there, and as you can see, it's kind of dirty. So good thing we're doing this. So go ahead and get that on there. Go ahead and snug it down. Now you don't want to go so tight that you strip out the caliper, then that would be really bad. You could scrap the caliper that way, or if you're lucky, be able to drill it out and go to a larger size. So we'll go ahead and get our brake line up here. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard for you guys to see here, so I've got to do some weird things with my arm. Go ahead and get that cinched down right there. And unfortunately, you can't really see what I'm doing here, but get that attached to the inner fender like so. And then we'll go ahead and show you guys how it looks there. So see right there, and we'll end up bringing it back and putting some zip ties or something right there, and we'll probably put a bracket up in here to go ahead and make sure it's nice and secure as well. So there we go. We'll tighten those down and we'll call that good. So anybody that's watched the last brake video recalls we didn't quite finish up with our hard lines here. You know, we got some nice ones here that I'm actually pretty happy with how they turned out, but we ran out of fittings to be able to do the last one right in here. So we are going to go ahead, make that last hard line. I'm not going to go into details about what it takes to make that hard line. You all have watched me make several now, so we'll just go ahead and fast forward through that. So as you can see, got the new line in, everything's ready to go there, and some rather interesting engineering we got going on.
Kyle's got one getting. Look at this. Take a look at this. He don't got a seat in here. I'm gonna try getting this. Not. Yeah.
Gonna be having to bleep that a lot.
All right. So now that I'm sitting on the floor here, I'm going to pump the brake pedal, of course, so we can fill these lines back up with the brake juice he needs.
Yeah, go ahead and start pumping there. We'll try and get some into that master cylinder.
It's got a spring in here.
Pump?
My leg's tired already, man. I gotta quit. I'm retiring early.
Can't be tired already.
So this pedal, it's ridiculous. I'm pumping. Oh, I'm holding now.
Alright, hold there for a sec.
Holding.
Why are we leaking? Where are we leaking from? That's a great question. Right there.
My pal Kyle here, you see, he don't go to the gym much. But when he's done with this thing, he's gonna wish he'd done leg day. Because he ain't gonna be able to push this thing very well.
That's the loose fitting. Alright, pump. And hold.
Holding.
Ooh, that looks a lot better right there.
Race car. Hey, this is crazy.
It's gonna be like driving the Datsun.
No, the Datsun's easier. Datsun probably weighs 700 pounds lighter than this too. It weighs 2,000 pounds.
Yeah. Hold.
And I feel like when I push the brake, even though they're manual, that the brake pedal is actually gonna, like, I could double foot that thing and stick it to the floor. Yeah. You could stick one foot on top of the other one. You're gonna break your foot before the pedal goes anywhere.
Maybe we need to bleed the brakes on the Datsun then.
Nah, I just did it the other day. That's what the joke with the 24-inch breaker bar was. Because I didn't have anybody to help me, so I used a breaker bar to do it.
Oh, gotcha.
Stuffed it up against my seat. Kept the pressure on it until I could open the cert. Oh. Guys, this pedal is ridiculous. I'm glad it's not my race car. He wants to drive it on the street.
I'll give you a break here for a moment.
At least on the racetrack, he's got a parachute. So even if the brakes don't work, he's got that. Nobody's shooting the laundry out on the street. Not very often.
I mean, I gotta pack it each time, but...
Yeah, who does that? Nobody wants to do that unless you're, of course, trying to hurt feelings. But you have hazards for that.
Yeah. Those don't hurt quite as hard as having somebody throw the laundry on you, though.
What do you guys think? Would you rather have the flashers on you or someone toss the laundry after you get beat? I think the laundry's a lot cooler. He says I can take a break now.
I'm not a complete slave driver.
That little...
Yeah. Alright, hold.
Holding. Let me relax?
Yeah.
Oh. You like how he tells me? Waits till he walks off and I gotta ask.
Well, I figure if you see me walk... Coming out of this one now, so... On our fourth bottle.
Fourth bottle? How many you got left?
This one.
4 bottles for this. He's getting a little wasteful now. He's gonna have to order more.
Well, there's still air coming.
Is it February yet?
Not quite. Hold.
Man, I can't wait till February. In case y'all are wondering, that means it's 1 month closer to TX2K.
Pump.
And we're excited to go to TX2K.
Hold.
Holding. Because TX2K means I gotta make more power with the Evo. Yeah. I'm not in anybody's way.
Where the hell is all this? Oh, shit. Alright, Jesse, go ahead, start pumping again. So not everything went as smooth as it would seem. Whenever we were getting the brakes bled, these fittings right here, the actual adapter fittings, started leaking. So it took a few tries there, a little bit of cleanup to try and get those sealed up. They seem to be sealed up right now, but we'll keep an eye on them once we actually get the car going. If they do start leaking again, we already have an idea of how to solve that. So it's looking pretty good. Fluid in the reservoir. All the brakes are bled. Pedals nice and hard, as Jesse can tell you.
Legs grown 4 inches. Pumping that thing.
So
Don't
thank
need
him
brake
for stopping by here on his day off and giving me a hand with this. So
yeah, you betcha.
with that, follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well as YouTube here, and we'll see you guys next time.